What does it truly mean to master the art of living? Picture this: days that feel less like a race and more like a journey, where challenges don't shake you but shape you, and where life's noise doesn't overwhelm but inspires. This isn't some distant dream. It's a mindset rooted in the ancient yet deeply practical philosophy of Stoicism. For thousands of years, Stoicism has guided people toward resilience, clarity, and purpose by focusing on what truly matters and letting go of what doesn't. Today, we'll explore 20 timeless Stoic lessons that hold the power to transform how you approach life, no matter the chaos around you, and we won't stop there. For each lesson, we'll also dive deeper with actionable insights to ensure these ideas aren't just inspiring but immediately useful in your daily life. By the end of this journey, you'll have a clear path to mastering the art of living with wisdom and intention, starting right now. So let's dive into these life-changing principles together. Now turning to the first lesson, let's explore the cornerstone of Stoic philosophy, focusing on what you can control and letting go of what you cannot. Picture this: you're stuck in traffic, running late for an important meeting. You can't control the cars ahead, the lights turning red, or the ticking clock. But what you can control is your reaction. Do you choose anger and frustration, or do you choose calm acceptance? The Stoics remind us that external events are beyond our influence, but our thoughts, actions, and attitudes are entirely within our grasp. Another example could be dealing with criticism. Imagine someone makes an unkind remark about you. You might not be able to stop their words, but you can control how much weight you give them. Do you let it ruin your day, or do you view it as a reflection of their own struggles and move on? This mental shift, channeling energy into what you can influence while letting go of what you cannot, is not just liberating, it's life-changing. It frees up emotional and mental energy that would otherwise be wasted on things outside your power. By practicing this approach daily, you begin to cultivate an inner peace that remains unshaken by life's chaos. With this first lesson at the forefront, you lay the foundation for a mindset that can weather anything life throws at you. Moving forward, let's see how this philosophy extends further into embracing life's challenges. Now turning to how we can implement this first lesson in our daily lives, let's explore practical strategies that make it actionable. One effective method is journaling. At the end of each day, take a few moments to reflect and divide your experiences into two categories: what was within your control and what was not. For example, you may realize that while you couldn't control the weather ruining your outdoor plans, you could control your decision to enjoy indoor activities instead. This exercise helps you consciously identify where your energy is best spent and builds the habit of focusing your thoughts and efforts on what truly matters. Another powerful tool is using the serenity prayer as a mental guide. The phrase, "Grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference," perfectly encapsulates this Stoic principle. By repeating this during moments of stress or uncertainty, you can anchor your mind to calm acceptance while empowering yourself to take action where it is possible. Additionally, you can practice this lesson in real time by pausing when faced with a challenge and asking yourself one simple question: is this within my control? If the answer is no, consciously let it go. If yes, focus on what steps you can take to address it. Over time, these practices not only strengthen your mental resilience but also bring clarity and efficiency to your decision-making. With these tools in hand, you'll find it easier to cultivate the self-discipline needed to consistently live by this foundational Stoic principle. Now, with this understanding, let's move forward to see how embracing adversity can further shape our inner strength. Now turning to the idea of embracing adversity, we step into a cornerstone of Marcus Aurelius's teachings, the belief that obstacles are not barriers but opportunities for growth. In his meditations, Marcus wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This profound insight reminds us that life's challenges, rather than hindering us, can actually propel us forward if we approach them with the right mindset. Imagine someone training for a marathon. Every hill, every moment of exhaustion, and every setback is not a roadblock. It is part of what makes them stronger, more resilient, and capable of running farther. Adversity works in the same way for our character. It is in facing difficulties that we uncover our inner strength, creativity, and determination. Consider the story of Thomas Edison, who faced countless failures in his attempts to create the light bulb. Instead of seeing failure as defeat, he famously reframed it, declaring that he had simply discovered thousands of ways that would not work. This perspective allowed him to persevere, and ultimately, his resilience shaped the world we know today. Adversity, as the Stoics teach us, is not something to fear or avoid. It is an opportunity to practice patience, courage, and wisdom. When life places an obstacle in your path, think of it as a gift rather than a burden. It is a chance to refine your mind and sharpen your character. With this foundation, let us look deeper into how we can actively overcome challenges and reframe them as opportunities for growth. Now turning to actionable methods for overcoming challenges, let us explore how to reframe adversity in practical and empowering ways. One simple but powerful technique is the use of daily affirmations. By repeating positive and constructive statements such as, "I am capable of handling whatever comes my way," or "Every challenge is an opportunity to grow," you can train your mind to see difficulties as stepping stones rather than stumbling blocks. Over time, this practice rewires your thought patterns, helping you approach problems with optimism and resilience. Another method involves mentally rehearsing potential setbacks. Just as athletes visualize the obstacles they might face in competition, you can reflect on possible challenges in your daily life. For example, if you are preparing for a job interview, imagine scenarios where you might be asked difficult questions or face unexpected delays. By envisioning these setbacks and mapping out how you would respond, you build a sense of preparedness and control. This process reduces anxiety and turns unpredictability into something you are ready to face head-on. The Stoics often emphasize that our response to challenges is what defines us. Implementing these techniques allows you to face life's twists and turns with poise and clarity. By reframing difficulties and actively preparing for them, you cultivate a mindset that transforms obstacles into opportunities for growth. As we move forward, let us consider another transformative Stoic practice, voluntary discomfort. Moving forward, let us delve into Seneca's thought-provoking advice on practicing voluntary discomfort. This might seem counterintuitive at first. Why would anyone choose discomfort in a world that continuously strives for convenience and ease? Yet, the wisdom behind this practice is profound. Imagine fasting for a day, taking a cold shower, or abstaining from a luxury like your favorite morning coffee. These small, intentional acts of discomfort serve a larger purpose. By exposing yourself to temporary hardship, you train your mind to endure challenges with grace and fortitude. It is no longer a shock when life disrupts your routines because you have practiced resilience in controlled circumstances. Moreover, these moments of discomfort sharpen your gratitude. That first sip of warm coffee after a few days without it feels like a gift. The warmth of your regular shower after a cold one becomes an unparalleled luxury. By stepping outside your comfort zone, you gain a deeper appreciation for the things you often take for granted. Seneca himself would periodically live as though he had nothing, dressing plainly and eating simple meals, not out of necessity, but to remind himself of the fleeting nature of material wealth and the strength within him to endure its absence. This practice is not about unnecessary suffering. It is about gaining control over your desires, grounding yourself, and preparing for life's unpredictability. As you embrace voluntary discomfort, you build a mental and emotional armor, cultivating inner strength and gratitude in profound, life-affirming ways. Up next, we will explore the deeper benefits that emerge from engaging in practices of discomfort, unveiling how they can transform your perspective on resilience and contentment. Now turning to the deeper benefits of practicing voluntary discomfort, let us uncover how this transformative approach fosters resilience, gratitude, and a heightened appreciation for the luxuries we often overlook. When you intentionally step into discomfort, your mental resilience grows stronger. You begin to realize that you are capable of enduring more than you initially believed. The next time life throws an unexpected challenge your way, whether it is a financial setback, the loss of a convenience, or a sudden change in routine, you are no longer paralyzed by adversity. You have already built the muscle of endurance through small, deliberate acts of discomfort. Over time, these experiences fortify your inner strength, creating a mindset that views challenges not as insurmountable obstacles, but as opportunities to grow and adapt. Beyond resilience, voluntary discomfort also nurtures profound gratitude. Consider this: the simplicity of a warm bed becomes a treasure after a night spent camping on the hard ground. A meal shared with loved ones feels richer and more fulfilling after a day of fasting. These acts strip away the layers of monotony that often dull our senses to life's beauty and abundance. By willingly facing discomfort, you reawaken your appreciation for things you may have once taken for granted. The luxuries you enjoy become more vivid and meaningful, reminding you that contentment does not come from abundance itself, but from the recognition of it. Furthermore, this practice realigns your relationship with material possessions and comfort. It helps you detach from the constant pursuit of more, breaking the cycle of endless consumption that often leads to dissatisfaction. Instead, you learn that true fulfillment lies in adapting to less and finding joy in simplicity. This clarity empowers you to navigate life with a lighter heart, unburdened by the weight of unnecessary desires. By embracing voluntary discomfort, you gain not only a shield of resilience and a heart full of gratitude, but also a lens that sees the world with renewed clarity. This practice reminds you that strength, contentment, and joy are skills that can be cultivated through intentional effort. As we continue, let us turn to another Stoic principle, one that invites us to reflect on the ultimate reality of life itself, the practice of Memento Mori. Moving forward, let us delve into the profound Stoic practice of Memento Mori, which translates to remember death. At first glance, this might seem like a somber or even unsettling concept, but its purpose is far from grim. Instead, the Stoics embrace the reflection on mortality as a tool to illuminate life's true value and priorities. By acknowledging the finite nature of our time on earth, we are reminded to live each moment with intention and presence. The idea is not to fear death, but to let its inevitability inspire us to focus on what truly matters. Consider this: how often do we postpone meaningful actions, waiting for the right time to pursue our dreams, express our feelings, or spend time with loved ones? Reflecting on mortality serves as a wake-up call, urging us to stop procrastinating and to treat each day as a precious gift. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, wrote in his Meditations, "You could leave life right now." Let that determine what you do and say and think. This is not meant to instill dread, but to remind us to align our thoughts and actions with our highest values. In the rush of daily life, it is easy to get caught up in trivial pursuits or material distractions, but Memento Mori helps us cut through the noise. It sharpens our focus on what is essential, whether that is nurturing meaningful relationships, contributing to the well-being of others, or pursuing personal growth. When we recognize that time is our most limited resource, we naturally begin to prioritize experiences that bring joy, connection, and fulfillment. This practice also has a freeing effect. By accepting the certainty of death, we can release the fear of it. Instead of clinging to what we cannot control, we learn to cherish the present without being weighed down by anxieties about the future. In a way, remembering death allows us to truly live free from the illusion of permanence and more attuned to the beauty of impermanence. Now imagine the clarity this perspective brings to your daily life. The moment you once overlooked the laughter of a friend, the warmth of a sunset, the satisfaction of completing meaningful work suddenly become treasures to be savored. Memento Mori does not ask us to dwell on loss. It empowers us to embrace life fully with gratitude and purpose. As we reflect on this transformative principle, let us now explore how to integrate Memento Mori into our daily lives in practical and impactful ways, ensuring its wisdom resonates beyond thought and into action. Now turning to practical applications, living with mortality in mind can be woven into everyday life through simple yet profound practices that anchor the philosophy of Memento Mori into action. One of the most tangible methods is keeping a physical reminder of mortality, such as a Memento Mori coin or object. This item serves as a daily touchstone, a quiet prompt to remain mindful of life's fragility. Each time you see or hold it, you are invited to pause and realign your focus on what truly matters, cutting through distractions and trivial concerns. It is a constant, silent teacher urging you to live with purpose and gratitude. Another impactful practice is dedicating time to write about your thoughts and fears surrounding death. At first, this might seem daunting, but putting these emotions into words can be incredibly liberating. Writing allows you to confront the unknown, demystify it, and in doing so, reduce the fear that often accompanies it. Reflect on questions like, what would I do differently if today was my last day? Or, what legacy do I wish to leave behind? These exercises clarify your priorities and encourage deeper self-awareness. This journaling process is not about fixating on loss, but rather about removing the power fear holds over you, creating space for intentional living. Additionally, take time each day to reflect on impermanence through moments of stillness or meditation. This could involve a few quiet minutes in the morning, contemplating how fleeting each moment is, or ending your day by expressing gratitude for the small, meaningful experiences you encountered. Such practices remind us to savor life's richness, even in its simplest forms. Living with mortality in mind does not require significant changes to your routine. Instead, it calls for subtle shifts in perspective that gradually transform how you approach time, relationships, and goals. By integrating these small yet powerful habits, you begin to embody the wisdom of Memento Mori, not as a distant concept, but as a vibrant force guiding your daily life. As we transition to the next Stoic lesson, let us build on this foundation and explore how leading a virtuous life can be the compass that directs us toward true fulfillment and inner harmony. With the next phase of the journey in sight, we arrive at one of the most central teachings of Stoicism, the pursuit of virtue above all else. At the heart of this philosophy lie four timeless virtues: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. These pillars act as a compass, guiding us toward inner peace and a life of true meaning. Wisdom is the ability to discern what is true and what is important. It calls us to seek understanding, not just knowledge, and to apply that understanding in thoughtful decision-making. This virtue reminds us to act with reason and clarity rather than being swept away by emotion or impulse. Courage, on the other hand, is the strength to face fears and challenges with grace and resolve. Whether it is standing up for what is right, taking risks for a worthy cause, or enduring personal hardships, courage ensures that we do not shy away from life's trials, but instead face them head-on. Justice, the third virtue, is about upholding fairness and integrity in our treatment of others. It invites us to act ethically, to be honest, and to contribute positively to our communities. Justice is not limited to grand gestures. It shines in everyday moments of kindness, compassion, and doing what is right, even when it is inconvenient. Finally, temperance teaches us the art of balance. It is the practice of moderation, self-discipline, and restraint, ensuring that desire and excess do not steer us away from our values. By mastering temperance, we create harmony within ourselves and in how we engage with the world around us. Together, these virtues form the cornerstone of a life well lived. They offer a framework for navigating challenges, building meaningful relationships, and maintaining a sense of purpose. When we strive to embody these qualities, we align ourselves with the Stoic belief that virtue is the highest good, a path that leads not only to personal fulfillment, but also to a profound sense of clarity and peace. As we delve deeper, we will uncover how these virtues can be applied in simple, practical ways to enrich our daily lives and solidify our commitment to living virtuously. Now turning to how these virtues can be woven into the fabric of our daily lives, let us explore their practical applications in modern scenarios. Consider wisdom in the context of decision-making. Imagine facing a dilemma at work, a choice between taking a shortcut that could compromise quality or investing more time to uphold standards. Wisdom encourages you to pause, reflect, and prioritize long-term integrity over short-term gains. It invites you to seek understanding and make choices aligned with your core values. Next, courage finds its place in moments of fear or uncertainty. Think of the courage it takes to voice a concern during a meeting when everyone else remains silent, or the strength required to embrace change rather than resist it. Courage is not about the absence of fear, but about moving forward despite it, ensuring that your actions are driven by purpose, not by hesitation. Justice shines in everyday interactions, reminding us to treat others fairly and with respect. Picture this: a colleague is unfairly criticized and the room falls silent. Justice calls on you to stand up for them, to advocate for fairness even when it is uncomfortable. It could also surface in the form of making ethical choices, like ensuring transparency in your workplace dealings or helping a neighbor in need. Finally, temperance comes to life in the small moments of self-restraint and balance. Imagine a heated argument where emotions flare. Temperance whispers for calm, urging you to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. It could also mean setting boundaries with technology, taking a pause from scrolling through endless feeds to spend meaningful time with loved ones or resting your mind. These virtues are not abstract ideals buried in ancient texts. They are living principles that, when practiced, can transform the way we navigate the complexities of modern life. By applying wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance in our daily actions, we craft a life of balance and purpose, proving that the pursuit of virtue is as practical as it is noble. With this understanding, let us now turn our attention to the concept of Amor Fati and how embracing our fate can reshape our perspective on life's challenges. Now turning to the profound concept of Amor Fati, or love your fate, we explore the Stoic and Nietzschean belief in embracing all that life brings, both its joys and its trials. At its core, Amor Fati invites us to not just accept, but to love and find meaning in everything that unfolds in our lives. Imagine facing a setback, perhaps losing a job or experiencing a failed project. Instead of being consumed by frustration or regret, Amor Fati encourages us to see these moments as opportunities for growth, as essential threads in the fabric of our personal journey. It shifts our perspective from questioning, "Why me?" to asking, "What can I learn from this?" This mindset does not deny the difficulty of hardships. Rather, it transforms them into stepping stones toward resilience and self-improvement. For example, consider a rejection that initially feels like a door slamming shut. Through the lens of Amor Fati, that rejection may reveal itself as a redirection toward a more suitable path or a chance to sharpen your skills. By loving your fate, you align yourself with life's natural flow, reducing resistance and finding peace even amidst challenges. This philosophy also applies to the everyday, such as when plans change unexpectedly or when faced with minor inconveniences like a delayed flight or a rainy day. Instead of frustration, Amor Fati invites gratitude for the chance to exercise patience, for the opportunity to adapt, or even for the beauty within the unexpected. The practice of loving your fate encourages you to trust that every moment, good or bad, plays a role in shaping who you are meant to become. It asks you to live with an open heart, to embrace the entirety of your existence, and to find meaning and purpose even in the hardships. By adopting this mindset, life's challenges become less about obstacles and more about lessons, enriching the journey rather than detracting from it. With this philosophy as our guide, we can approach the next layer of Amor Fati, the practical steps to turning even the most difficult setbacks into fuel for growth. Moving forward, let's uncover how to practically turn setbacks into the fuel for growth, truly embodying the essence of Amor Fati. History is rich with examples of individuals who transformed adversity into triumph. Take Thomas Edison, for instance. When his laboratory burned to the ground, destroying years of work, his response was not despair but rather a calm resolution. He reportedly said, "Thank goodness all our mistakes were burned up. Now we can start anew." By embracing what had happened and focusing on what could be learned and built from the ashes, Edison channeled his misfortune into renewed creativity and innovation. Similarly, think of J.K. Rowling, who faced numerous rejections before the first Harry Potter book was published. Each rejection, instead of breaking her spirit, sharpened her determination. These stories remind us that setbacks, when approached with the mindset of Amor Fati, can serve as catalysts for personal and professional growth. To integrate this philosophy into your own life, consider adopting a reflective practice like journaling. When faced with a setback, try asking yourself questions such as, "What can I learn from this experience?" or "How can this challenge contribute to my growth?" Write down your answers honestly and thoroughly. Another helpful approach is to list the potential opportunities hidden within the difficulty. For example, if you face a career setback, could it be a chance to explore a new path or develop a skill that you otherwise wouldn't have considered? You can also try reframing exercises. Instead of viewing a challenge as a roadblock, reframe it as training for resilience or an opportunity to practice patience, adaptability, or problem solving. By putting your thoughts into writing, you gain clarity and start to see how even the most difficult experiences can be stepping stones toward becoming stronger, wiser, and more capable. Remember, practicing Amor Fati is not about denying pain or pretending everything is easy. It's about choosing to embrace life as it is, finding meaning even in hardship, and using each experience to fuel your growth. With this outlook, even the most daunting challenges transform into valuable lessons, empowering you to move forward with greater strength and understanding. This profound practice of turning setbacks into stepping stones naturally aligns with the next Stoic principle, silencing the ego, a crucial step in mastering humility and fostering personal growth. Now turning to the next fundamental Stoic principle, let us explore the importance of silencing your ego. In a world that often glorifies self-importance and competitiveness, this practice may seem counterintuitive, but it lies at the heart of personal growth and harmonious relationships. The Stoic teacher Epictetus reminds us that arrogance and pride are barriers to wisdom. He teaches that to truly learn and grow, one must first accept their own limitations and embrace humility. Imagine entering a discussion not to dominate or prove your superiority, but to truly listen, absorb, and understand another perspective. This simple shift not only strengthens relationships but also opens the door to profound learning. Consider how often ego interferes with decisions, whether it's insisting on having the last word in an argument, refusing to admit a mistake, or prioritizing appearances over authenticity. These moments, subtle as they may be, can create unnecessary friction and hinder progress. By silencing the ego, you give yourself the freedom to act wisely rather than react impulsively, to prioritize truth over pride, and to value collaboration over competition. A practical way to embrace this lesson is to regularly practice self-reflection and ask yourself honest questions. Am I clinging to pride in this situation? Or would letting go of my ego lead to a better outcome? Writing your answers down can help you gain perspective and identify patterns where ego might be holding you back. Another helpful exercise is to deliberately seek feedback from others, even when it feels uncomfortable. Acknowledging areas for improvement instead of deflecting or becoming defensive is a profound act of humility that can lead to remarkable growth. Epictetus also emphasized the importance of viewing yourself as part of a greater whole rather than the center of the universe. This mindset fosters empathy and encourages actions that benefit not just yourself but others as well. For instance, when making decisions in your workplace or personal life, consider how your choices impact those around you. Can you set aside personal gain to act in a way that aligns with virtue and fairness? This approach not only builds trust but also strengthens your character. By putting aside arrogance and pride, you make room for clarity, wisdom, and genuine connection. Silencing the ego does not mean undervaluing yourself. It simply means understanding that true strength lies in humility. This principle seamlessly ties into the broader Stoic practice of mastering one's mindset, which we will revisit further as we delve into the dichotomy of control, a principle that broadens the application of wisdom into all areas of life. Moving forward, let us delve deeper into practical techniques for managing the ego, a task central to the Stoic pursuit of personal growth. One effective method is to cultivate a daily gratitude practice. When you shift your focus to appreciating what you already have rather than fixating on what you lack, the ego naturally softens. For instance, instead of dwelling on how your contributions may not have been acknowledged, pause and express gratitude for the opportunity to contribute in the first place. This habit fosters humility and reminds you of the broader picture, reducing the ego's hold on your thoughts and actions. Another transformative activity is actively seeking feedback from those around you. While this can feel uncomfortable, it is a powerful way to confront blind spots and recognize areas for improvement. Approach trusted friends, colleagues, or mentors and ask, "What do you think I could do better?" Or, "Is there anything I may not be seeing in this situation?" The act of genuinely listening without defensiveness not only helps you grow but also strengthens relationships built on mutual respect. It signals that you value learning and collaboration over self-centered validation, a hallmark of true humility. Additionally, historical accounts of great leaders who embodied humility can serve as inspiring reminders of the power of silencing the ego. Consider figures like Marcus Aurelius, who, despite being among the most powerful individuals of his time, approached his reign with modesty and a sense of duty to serve the common good. Reading his meditations reveals a leader deeply committed to self-awareness and the practice of placing virtue above personal ambition. Reflecting on such examples can inspire you to embrace humility in your own life and align your actions with higher principles. Finally, practicing detachment from titles, accolades, or material symbols of success can help you focus on what truly matters. Ask yourself, if I were stripped of all these externals, who would I be at my core? This exercise shifts your attention away from ego-driven pursuits and toward cultivating inner virtues like wisdom, courage, and kindness. By prioritizing these enduring qualities over fleeting recognition, you build a foundation of authentic strength and resilience. Together, these techniques, gratitude, seeking feedback, learning from history, and detachment empower you to quiet your ego and embrace a mindset of humility and growth. As we continue exploring Stoic wisdom, we now turn our attention to the dichotomy of control, an essential framework for navigating life's challenges with clarity and purpose. Now turning to the dichotomy of control, let us broaden the concept beyond its foundational roots and explore its application in various areas of life. At its core, this principle encourages a clear distinction between what is within our power to influence and what lies entirely beyond it. But how does this idea play out in real-world situations, such as our relationships, finances, or health? Let us start with relationships. While you cannot control how others behave or feel, you can control your own actions, words, and intentions. For example, if a friend or loved one responds negatively to something you said, instead of trying to manipulate their reaction or obsessing over their mood, focus on what you can do, like clarifying your words, apologizing if necessary, or simply offering kindness. This not only diffuses unnecessary tension but also preserves your inner peace, knowing you behaved in alignment with your values instead of being swept up in trying to control someone else's emotions. Now let us apply this to finances. The truth is, no one can control the stock market, global economy, or unexpected expenses that arise, but what is within your control? Creating a budget, building an emergency fund, or researching before making investments. By actively managing these aspects, you can face uncertainties with confidence and composure, knowing you have prepared for what is foreseeable and accepted what is not. This approach keeps you grounded, preventing financial stress from overwhelming your mind and decision-making. When it comes to health, the dichotomy of control becomes a powerful tool for resilience and clarity. While you cannot control the fact that illnesses or injuries may occur, you can influence how you care for your body and mind daily. For instance, prioritizing sleep, eating nutritious foods, staying physically active, and managing stress are all within your control. If health challenges do arise, practicing acceptance of the situation while continuing to do your best within your power leads to a balanced perspective. Less frustration over the uncontrollable, and more focus on what supports healing and well-being. By applying the dichotomy of control to these diverse areas of life, you unlock a versatile framework that reduces unnecessary anxiety and fosters greater peace of mind. Instead of wasting energy on things outside your influence, you channel your efforts into actions that truly matter. With this mindset, even the most challenging situations become more manageable as clarity replaces confusion and purpose guides your actions. With this powerful tool in hand, let us now explore the Stoic idea of living in accordance with nature, a principle that helps us align more closely with the world and our place within it. Now turning to the idea of living in accordance with nature, we arrive at one of the most profound teachings in Stoic philosophy. At its essence, this principle invites us to align with the natural order of the universe, a harmonious state where we accept life as it is and embrace our unique role within it. But what does this really mean in practice? First, it involves recognizing that nature operates with its own rhythms and processes, often beyond our control. Seasons change, life begins and ends, and challenges arise as part of the human experience. Instead of resisting these realities or wishing the world were different, Stoicism encourages us to flow with them, much like a river flowing around rocks rather than trying to push them aside. This mindset not only reduces internal conflict, but also allows us to respond to life's events with grace and adaptability. Living in accordance with nature also means fulfilling the role we hold in the broader community. Just as every tree, animal, and stream contributes to the ecosystem, each of us has a purpose in society. Whether that role is small or transformative, what matters is performing it with virtue and integrity. For example, if you are a teacher, you embrace your role by educating with kindness and patience, helping others grow in knowledge and character. If you are a parent, you nurture and guide your children with wisdom and love, understanding that your role forms part of a much larger pattern. By seeing our individual actions as threads in the fabric of the universe, we gain a sense of connection and meaning that transcends fleeting personal concerns. This principle also teaches us to respect not only the natural world but our own human nature as well. It reminds us to care for ourselves in ways that honor our physical and emotional well-being, balancing ambition with rest and progress with contentment. Imagine a farmer who respects the seasons. They work hard during planting and harvest but also allow the soil time to replenish. Similarly, by living with this balance, we cultivate a life that is both productive and sustainable, avoiding burnout and finding peace in the natural ebb and flow of existence. Ultimately, living in accordance with nature challenges us to see life not as a series of obstacles to overcome, but as a dynamic reality to engage with. It is an invitation to cultivate harmony within ourselves and with the world around us by embracing our role, accepting what happens, and acting with purpose and virtue. With these insights in mind, let us now explore the practice of self-reflection and journaling, a tool that helps us deepen our understanding of these principles and stay rooted in our values. Now turning to the practice of self-reflection and journaling, we unveil a powerful tool deeply rooted in Stoic tradition. Stoics such as Marcus Aurelius famously journaled each day, not to record mundane events, but to engage in purposeful introspection. This daily habit allowed them to reflect on their progress, confront their missteps, and realign with their core values. Think of journaling as holding a mirror up to your thoughts and actions, a mirror that does not judge but reveals. It's a space where you can examine whether you lived in line with virtue, practiced patience, or let unnecessary emotions derail your peace. This honesty with oneself fosters a deeper understanding of who you are and who you wish to become. Consider the process as a moment of dialogue, not with the world but with your inner self. You might write about a challenge you faced today and how you responded. Did you act with wisdom and courage, or did fleeting frustrations lead you astray? By acknowledging these moments without self-condemnation, you create an opportunity to grow. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on his role as a leader and human being, pondering how he could better fulfill his responsibilities. Similarly, we can ask ourselves questions such as, what did I do well today? Or what could I have handled differently? These reflections encourage us to learn from past choices and approach tomorrow with greater clarity and intention. Journaling also serves as an anchor in the tumult of life. The Stoics believed that staying rooted in your principles amidst external chaos is an act of strength. In our modern world, where distractions can overwhelm us, setting aside even a few minutes to jot down your thoughts provides a grounding sense of focus. It's a dedicated time to pause, breathe, and align with what truly matters. Beyond reflection, journaling helps us track patterns over time, moments of progress, recurring challenges, or lessons learned. This broader perspective offers context and insight, reminding us that growth is a gradual journey, not a destination. By adopting this habit, you give yourself the chance to consciously shape your character each day. While we cannot control the events that unfold around us, we can control how we respond to them, and journaling is a daily practice that reinforces this Stoic truth. With this in mind, let us turn to practical tips for starting your own Stoic journaling practice, ensuring that this timeless tradition becomes a meaningful part of your life. With the next phase of the journey in sight, let's explore the practical steps to begin your own Stoic journaling practice. Starting small and keeping it simple is key. Begin by setting aside just a few quiet minutes each day, preferably in the morning to set your intentions, or in the evening to reflect on the day. Choose a notebook or even a digital tool that feels comfortable and accessible to you. There's no need for elaborate entries. Instead, focus on clarity and authenticity. A great way to begin is by writing down a single question to guide your thoughts. Start with prompts such as, what could I do better today? Or what virtue did I embody today? These prompts are not about perfection but about progress. They encourage you to examine your actions and stay aligned with the values you wish to uphold. Another effective approach is to note challenges you encountered and your response to them. Ask yourself, did I remain calm in the face of frustration? Or did I choose courage over fear? By doing so, you create a habit of honest self-assessment, which is essential for cultivating resilience and growth. If time feels scarce, even jotting down one positive action you took or a moment of gratitude can be powerful. For example, you might reflect, I showed kindness to a colleague today, or I stayed patient during a difficult conversation. These small acknowledgements reinforce your commitment to live according to Stoic principles. Additionally, consider using your journaling time to prepare for the day ahead. Imagine the potential challenges you might face and write about how you plan to respond with wisdom and composure. This practice, called premeditatio malorum, or the premeditation of evils, helps you mentally rehearse and prepare for life's uncertainties. For instance, you could write, "If I encounter criticism today, I will respond with understanding rather than defensiveness." This forward-thinking habit empowers you to anticipate rather than simply react. Remember, there is no right or wrong way to journal. The goal is not to produce perfect entries, but to cultivate awareness, self-improvement, and inner peace. Over time, your journal will become a personal guide, a record of your growth, lessons learned, and the virtues you strive to embody. With these actionable tips in hand, let's now delve into the next cornerstone of Stoic wisdom, living in the present moment and finding peace in the here and now. Now turning to the importance of living in the present moment, the Stoics teach us that peace is found not in dwelling on the past or worrying about the future, but in fully embracing the here and now. Imagine savoring a warm cup of coffee in the morning. If your mind is distracted by yesterday's mistakes or tomorrow's concerns, you miss the simple joy of that very moment, the aroma, the taste, the comfort it brings. Similarly, life is filled with these fleeting yet meaningful moments, but they require our attention to be truly appreciated. The Stoics believed that obsessing over past regrets immobilizes us, while anxiety about the future robs us of the energy we need today. Instead, they advocated for focusing on what is directly before us, where our influence lies. Picture this: you are enjoying a sunset, the sky painted in breathtaking shades of orange and pink. If your mind starts drifting to unfinished work or upcoming responsibilities, the beauty of that sunset is lost on you. Being present requires intentionality, choosing to tune into the moment and set aside distractions. As Epictetus reminds us, it's not what happens to us, but how we perceive and respond to it that truly matters. By grounding yourself in the now, you allow life's richness to unfold before you, unhindered by the noise of what has been or what might be. To cultivate presence, begin by practicing mindfulness in simple, everyday activities. For example, when eating a meal, resist the urge to scroll through your phone or let your mind wander. Instead, focus on the flavors, textures, and nourishment in front of you. When walking outside, notice the feel of the ground beneath your feet or the rhythm of your breath. These small practices add up, training your mind to stay anchored in the present. The Stoics also remind us to let go of the past, not by ignoring it, but by accepting that it cannot be changed. Marcus Aurelius wrote that the past is already written and the future uncertain. Only the present is truly ours. Acceptance liberates us from the weight of what is beyond our control, allowing us to dedicate our full attention to the moment at hand. As you practice living in the present, remember that it is not about ignoring goals or responsibilities. Rather, it is about bringing your full self to the task or experience in front of you. Whether you are working, spending time with loved ones, or simply enjoying a quiet moment, immerse yourself completely. This practice fosters gratitude, clarity, and a deeper connection to the world around you. With this understanding of presence as a cornerstone of Stoic living, let's now explore practical techniques to strengthen this mindset, ensuring that the art of being present becomes a lasting part of your daily life. Moving forward, let's delve into practical techniques to cultivate presence, making it a natural and lasting part of your daily life. A foundational practice is mindfulness, which trains your mind to focus on the here and now. Deep breathing exercises are a simple yet powerful way to begin. For example, when you feel your thoughts racing, pause for a moment and take a slow, deep breath in through your nose, hold it briefly, and exhale gently through your mouth. Repeat this cycle a few times, bringing your attention to the sensation of the air entering and leaving your body. This not only calms your mind, but also anchors you in the present moment. Another effective technique is to create phone-free zones in your day. Choose specific times or spaces where you consciously set aside your devices, perhaps during meals, family time, or your bedtime routine. Without the constant pull of notifications, you can fully engage with your surroundings and connect more deeply with those around you. The Stoics would remind us that distractions dilute our experience of the moment, and by practicing intentional disconnection, we regain clarity and focus. Additionally, consider incorporating short mindfulness rituals into your daily routine. For instance, when you wake up in the morning, instead of immediately reaching for your phone, take a moment to notice the sensations of waking, the warmth of your blanket, the sounds around you, or the light entering the room. By starting your day with mindfulness, you set a tone of presence that can carry throughout your activities. Engaging in physical activities like yoga, tai chi, or even a simple walk in nature can also enhance your connection to the present. These practices encourage you to move with awareness, focusing on your breath, your balance, or the feel of the ground beneath your feet. They not only ground you but also nurture your physical and mental well-being. For those who enjoy journaling, try writing about your daily experiences with a focus on the senses. Describe the colors, sounds, tastes, or feelings you noticed throughout the day. This practice not only sharpens your awareness but also helps you appreciate the richness of life's details. Marcus Aurelius himself journaled to reflect on his thoughts and actions, a habit that kept him present and aligned with his values. Lastly, remember the power of gratitude. At the end of each day, take a moment to reflect on 3 things you are grateful for that happened that day. These can be small, like a kind smile, or significant, like a job well done. Gratitude shifts your focus to the positive aspects of the present, deepening your sense of fulfillment. By regularly practicing these techniques, you train your mind to let go of unnecessary distractions and fully engage with the moment at hand. Presence is not something to achieve once and forget. It is a skill to be honed daily, bringing greater clarity, peace, and joy into your life. Now, with a deeper understanding of how to cultivate presence, let's shift our focus to another essential Stoic lesson that reminds us of the neutral nature of external events and how our perceptions shape our peace of mind. Now, turning to the lesson on how external events do not impact your peace, let's re-examine a core teaching of Stoicism. The Stoics believed that events themselves are inherently neutral. It is our interpretation of them, our judgments, that creates emotional turbulence. Picture this: you were anticipating a well-deserved promotion, but it was given to someone else. The event itself is simple: someone else was selected. However, when you attach thoughts like "this is unfair" or "I will never succeed," it is these judgments that stir frustration, disappointment, or self-doubt. Instead, the Stoics guide us to pause and reframe. Ask yourself, what control do I have in this situation? You cannot control the decision that was made, but you can control your response. By choosing to view it as an opportunity, perhaps to grow, reflect, or refocus your energy, you take back the power to maintain your peace. Marcus Aurelius once said, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment." This is a liberating idea. It shifts the focus from external circumstances to the strength of your inner mindset. Take mundane inconveniences like a delayed flight or a sudden rainstorm. While you may initially feel annoyed, pausing to recognize that these are merely events outside your control can help you let go of the frustration. Instead, use that time to read, meditate, or simply enjoy the sound of the rain. The event stays the same, but your perspective transforms it into something constructive or even pleasant. This practice requires intentional awareness. The next time you face a setback, take a moment and examine your thoughts about it. Are they making the event seem worse than it is? If so, challenge them. Replace thoughts that fuel negativity with ones that promote calm and acceptance. The power lies in acknowledging that while you cannot shape every event, you can master how you experience it. Over time, this habit builds resilience and allows you to maintain your peace regardless of what life throws your way. As we continue, let's explore the way Stoicism encourages us to guard our mindset, a powerful tool for navigating life's uncertainties. Moving forward, let's delve into the Stoic principle of guarding your mindset, a teaching emphasized by Epictetus. He reminds us that it isn't what happens outside of us that truly matters, but how we interpret it. Our thoughts act as the gatekeepers of our peace, determining whether external events will disturb us or be met with calm resilience. Imagine this: you overhear a colleague speaking critically about your work. The words themselves, much like the sound of wind passing through a tree, are neutral. But your reaction, be it anger, sadness, or even indifference, arises from how you choose to interpret those words. Do you see them as an attack on your value, or simply as an opinion that reflects more about them than about you? To adopt a resilient mindset, start by recognizing the space between an event and your reaction. In that brief moment lies your power to decide how to respond. Pause and ask yourself, what is within my control here? You cannot control the words spoken or others' perceptions, but you can absolutely control how much weight you give to them. This shift in focus from the uncontrollable to the controllable builds a sense of inner strength that nothing external can shake. One valuable practice is reframing. Instead of seeing challenges as threats, view them as opportunities to practice patience, humility, or courage. For instance, imagine being stuck in heavy traffic. Rather than spiraling into frustration, consider it a chance to listen to an inspiring podcast or reflect on your day. The situation remains unchanged, but how you frame it transforms your experience. Another technique is becoming mindful of the stories you tell yourself. Often, it's not the event itself, but the narrative we attach to it that causes distress. When faced with a setback, ask, what alternative story could I tell here that brings growth instead of negativity? By consciously shaping these narratives, you take control of your mindset and protect your peace. Building this resilience takes practice. Start small by observing your reactions to minor annoyances, a spilled drink, a slow internet connection, and gradually extend this mindfulness to bigger challenges. Over time, you'll notice a shift. Situations that once rattled you will lose their hold, and you'll move through life with a steadier, more composed outlook. As we journey further, let us now explore the profound Stoic habit of practicing gratitude and how it can enhance daily satisfaction while shifting focus from lack to abundance. Now turning to the next profound Stoic practice, we arrive at the habit of gratitude, an essential tool for shifting focus from what is missing to what is already present in our lives. The Stoics believed that true contentment arises not from chasing more, but from appreciating what we already have. This philosophy encourages us to view life through a lens of abundance rather than scarcity. Picture this: you wake up in the morning and consciously acknowledge the simple gifts around you, the warmth of your bed, the sunlight streaming through the window, the ability to draw breath. These are things we often take for granted, yet they hold immense value when seen with a grateful heart. Practicing gratitude doesn't mean ignoring challenges or pretending life is perfect. Instead, it's about recognizing the good that coexists alongside the difficulties. For example, even on a stressful workday, you might appreciate the support of a kind colleague or the satisfaction of having meaningful tasks to accomplish. Gratitude shifts your focus, helping you see the silver linings that might otherwise go unnoticed. To cultivate this habit, begin with small, intentional actions. Each day, pause to reflect on 3 things you are grateful for. They can be as simple as a delicious meal, a friendly conversation, or even the refreshing breeze on a walk. Writing these down amplifies their impact, anchoring positive feelings in your mind. Over time, this practice rewires your perspective, training you to notice and celebrate the blessings in your life. Gratitude also fosters resilience by grounding us in what truly matters. When faced with setbacks, it becomes a tool to steady ourselves. Instead of dwelling solely on what was lost, we can appreciate what remains and what the experience has taught us. Picture a Stoic like Epictetus, who despite being born into slavery, focused on the inner freedom afforded by his character and values. His gratitude for what he could control outweighed any bitterness about what he could not. By adopting gratitude as a daily practice, you gradually shift your mindset from one of scarcity to one of abundance. This transformation not only enhances your satisfaction in the present moment, but also enriches your interactions, making you more appreciative of others and the world around you. As we continue forward, let us now examine the power of avoiding toxic comparisons and how focusing on your own journey can free you from the trap of envy. Now turning to the specific ways you can deepen your gratitude practice, let us explore some simple yet powerful rituals that can transform your daily perspective. Begin each morning by identifying 3 things you are grateful for. These can be as significant as having a supportive family or as simple as the way your favorite morning coffee tastes. By doing this first thing in the day, you prime your mind to focus on positivity and abundance right from the start. Another effective ritual is reflective journaling at the end of your day. Before going to bed, take a moment to write down 3 moments or experiences from the day that brought you joy or comfort. Reflecting on these positive aspects reinforces your awareness of the good in your life, no matter how small they may seem. Even during challenging days, this practice helps you uncover hidden gems of meaning, like learning a new lesson or receiving unexpected kindness from a stranger. For those who prefer a more interactive approach, consider sharing gratitude with others. You could write a heartfelt thank you note to someone who has positively impacted your life, or simply express your appreciation in person. Not only does this strengthen relationships, but it also amplifies your sense of connection and enriches the bond you share with others. Incorporating gratitude into moments of stillness can also be profoundly grounding. During a quiet walk or while meditating, focus on the sights, sounds, and sensations around you that bring comfort or delight, such as the chirping of birds, the warmth of the sun, or the peaceful rhythm of your breath. This mindful acknowledgement of the present moment fosters a profound sense of gratitude for the here and now. Lastly, try weaving gratitude into your conversations. When catching up with a friend or colleague, share something positive you've experienced lately. This habit not only keeps gratitude alive in your awareness, but also inspires others to focus on the good in their lives, creating a ripple effect of positivity. By committing to these gratitude rituals, you create space to celebrate life's blessings each day, no matter how big or small. As this practice grows, it gradually transforms the way you perceive the world, helping you tap into a wellspring of inner joy and resilience. Now, let us move forward to the next lesson and uncover how avoiding toxic comparisons can liberate you from envy and keep you centered on your unique path. Moving forward, let us delve into the Stoic warning against toxic comparisons and how focusing on your own journey can free you from the grasp of envy. In a world constantly showcasing curated highlights of others' lives, it's easy to feel as though you are falling behind or not measuring up. The Stoics, however, emphasize that comparing yourself to others is a fruitless and harmful exercise. They remind us that each person's path is unique, shaped by their own circumstances, choices, and challenges. Measuring your worth against someone else's achievements is like comparing a seed to a fully grown tree. Each has its own time and purpose. Instead, the Stoics encourage us to direct our attention inward, evaluating our progress based on our own efforts and values. Ask yourself, am I better today than I was yesterday in areas that matter to me? By focusing on self-improvement and living in alignment with your principles, you shift your energy from envy to empowerment. This perspective not only builds confidence but also keeps you anchored to your own path, free from the distractions of comparison. Another powerful insight from the Stoics is to view others' success as neither a threat nor a measure of your own inadequacy. Instead, see it as an opportunity to learn, be inspired, or even celebrate their achievements. This mindset reframes others' accomplishments not as something to covet, but as possibilities that life holds for anyone willing to strive. This subtle shift can transform envy into admiration and foster a spirit of mutual respect and encouragement. Furthermore, it is important to remember that what we often envy is only a fraction of someone's story. The Stoics caution us against assuming that external markers of success, wealth, beauty, recognition reflect a person's true happiness or peace of mind. Just as we all have our silent struggles, so do they. Focusing on superficial comparisons blinds us to the reality that inner contentment comes not from what we own or achieve, but from inner balance and living a life of virtue. Next time envy creeps in, take a step back and reflect on the incredible strengths and blessings in your own life. Gratitude for your unique journey dissolves the need to measure up to others. By rooting yourself firmly in who you are and what you hold dear, you cultivate a sense of fulfillment that external comparisons can never shake. As we leave behind the weight of envy, let us now turn to the wisdom of accepting criticism and using it as a tool for growth on our journey toward a more meaningful life. Now turning to the Stoic wisdom of accepting criticism and using it as a tool for growth, we uncover a powerful lesson in humility and resilience. For the Stoics, criticism was not something to be feared or avoided, but rather an opportunity to reflect and improve. They believed that when someone critiques us, it is our responsibility to evaluate their words objectively, separating emotion from reason. Instead of reacting defensively or taking it personally, consider whether their feedback holds any truth. Even harsh or unfair criticism can teach us something valuable, either about ourselves or about how others perceive us. A helpful strategy to depersonalize criticism is to remember that it often says more about the critic than it does about you. Their words may be influenced by their own biases, insecurities, or limited understanding. By not attaching your sense of self-worth to their opinions, you free yourself from unnecessary emotional turmoil. Instead, approach criticism with curiosity. What can I learn from this? How can I use it to become better? This mindset transforms feedback, even when delivered poorly, into a stepping stone for personal growth. The Stoics also emphasized the importance of controlling your response to criticism. You cannot dictate what others say or think, but you can choose how you react. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that we should not be disturbed by the opinions of others, but instead focus on maintaining our own integrity. When faced with criticism, pause and reflect before responding. This moment of self-control not only helps you process the critique more rationally, but also demonstrates emotional maturity. Another practical approach is to actively seek constructive feedback from those you trust and respect. When feedback comes from a place of care and honesty, it becomes an invaluable tool for self-improvement. Ask questions to clarify their perspective and use their insights to identify areas where you can grow. Remember, no one is perfect, and acknowledging your weaknesses is not a sign of failure but of strength and self-awareness. Ultimately, criticism, whether fair or flawed, is a part of life that can either hinder or help us depending on how we choose to engage with it. By viewing it through the lens of Stoicism, you can transform it into a catalyst for becoming a better version of yourself. As we explore the next Stoic lesson, let us reflect on how mindful speech can elevate not only our growth but also the quality of our relationships. Moving forward, the next Stoic lesson invites us to reflect on the power of our words and the profound impact they have on ourselves and others. The Stoics placed great importance on practicing mindful speech, urging us to choose our words with intention and care. They believed that speech should serve as a tool for truth, kindness, and growth, rather than a weapon for harm or idle chatter. Epictetus reminds us to avoid gossip and slander, as these not only harm the reputation of others but also diminish our own character. When we engage in hurtful or thoughtless speech, we risk not only damaging relationships but also straying from the virtues of integrity and self-control. A helpful way to practice mindful speech is by asking yourself 3 simple questions before speaking. Is it true? Is it necessary? Is it kind? These filters encourage us to pause and consider the value of our words, ensuring that what we say aligns with our principles and serves a constructive purpose. For instance, instead of criticizing someone harshly, consider offering feedback in a way that uplifts and motivates them to grow. This aligns with the Stoic belief in using speech to foster harmony and understanding rather than conflict. Silence also holds great power in Stoic practice. Marcus Aurelius advises us to speak only when it adds value and to embrace silence when it does not. In a world filled with noise and distractions, the ability to remain silent demonstrates discipline and wisdom. It allows us to listen more attentively and to respond thoughtfully rather than reacting impulsively. This practice not only preserves our own peace of mind, but also enhances the quality of our interactions with others. Another aspect of mindful speech is avoiding the trap of idle talk or unnecessary complaints. The Stoics encourage us to focus on solutions rather than dwelling on problems. Complaining often amplifies negativity, whereas speaking with purpose directs our energy toward progress. By choosing words that inspire, comfort, or guide, we contribute positively to the lives of those around us while maintaining our own composure and clarity. Ultimately, the practice of mindful speech is not about suppressing our voice, but rather about using it wisely. Through thoughtful communication, we can strengthen our relationships, uphold our virtues, and live in greater harmony with others. As we transition to the next Stoic lesson, we delve into the concept of impermanence and how embracing the fleeting nature of life can lead to deeper appreciation and freedom. With the next phase of the journey in sight, we explore the profound Stoic teaching on the impermanence of things. At its core, this lesson reminds us that nothing in life is permanent. Everything we encounter, from our greatest joys to our toughest struggles, is fleeting. The Stoics believed that understanding this truth empowers us to cherish what we have without clinging to it, and to let go of what we lose without despair. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Observe how transient and trivial all mortal things are, a drop of time in an endless ocean." These words challenge us to see life's temporary nature not as a source of fear, but as an invitation to fully engage with the present moment. By embracing impermanence, we cultivate gratitude for our experiences, relationships, and opportunities, understanding that their temporary nature makes them all the more precious. For example, consider a sunset. It is precisely because it fades so quickly that we treasure its beauty. Similarly, when we recognize that every moment is unique and unrepeatable, we become more mindful of how we spend our time and where we focus our energy. This awareness also helps us release unnecessary attachments. Often, our suffering is rooted in trying to hold onto things that are naturally destined to change. Whether it is a relationship, a career, or even material possessions, clinging to permanence in a world defined by change only creates frustration. Instead, the Stoics encourage us to accept life's ebb and flow with grace, much like a river that moves forward regardless of the obstacles in its path. Even challenges and hardships take on new meaning when viewed through the lens of impermanence. Knowing that pain and difficulties do not last forever can bring comfort and resilience during tough times. It allows us to endure with patience, knowing that brighter days are ahead and that every struggle is a temporary stepping stone in our journey. Ultimately, understanding impermanence liberates us. It frees us from the fear of loss and the burden of excessive attachment, creating space for a deeper appreciation of life's gifts as they come and go. As we transition to the next Stoic teaching, we turn our attention to the power of intentional action and how it serves as a cornerstone for living with purpose. With the next phase of the journey in sight, we delve into the Stoic principle of acting with intention. At its heart, this teaching reminds us to be deliberate in our choices, ensuring that our actions align with our values and purpose. The Stoics believed that to live well, one must act thoughtfully rather than being swept away by impulse or external pressures. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, urged himself to do what is right, not what is easy, emphasizing the importance of deliberate and purposeful action in every moment. Imagine standing at a crossroads in life, whether it is making a career decision, responding to a conflict, or simply choosing how to spend your day. Acting with intention means pausing to reflect on your true priorities and asking yourself, does this choice serve my higher purpose? By focusing on what genuinely matters, you can avoid the distractions and noise that often lead to regrettable decisions. For instance, instead of impulsively reacting to an upsetting email, you might choose to take a deep breath, compose yourself, and respond with clarity and professionalism. In this way, acting with intention transforms not only the outcome but also the energy you bring to every situation. To cultivate this mindset, the Stoics often practiced a form of mental rehearsal. Before starting their day, they would visualize the tasks ahead, considering how to approach each with wisdom and virtue. They also reflected in the evening, examining whether their actions aligned with their ideals and learning from any missteps. This ritual of self-awareness can help us navigate life with greater focus and integrity. Acting with intention also means resisting the urge to rush through life's moments. In a world that often glorifies speed and multitasking, the Stoics remind us of the value of doing one thing at a time and doing it well. Whether it is preparing a meal, writing a report, or spending time with loved ones, bringing your full attention and care to each task creates a deeper sense of fulfillment and mastery. Ultimately, this principle teaches us that our lives are shaped not by grand gestures, but by the small, deliberate choices we make each day. By acting with intention, we reclaim the power to guide our lives with purpose and align our actions with the person we aspire to be. With this understanding in mind, let us move forward to the final Stoic lesson, where we explore the profound impact of leading by example and how living our principles inspires others to do the same. As the sun rises on the next chapter of our journey, we arrive at the final Stoic lesson, the profound call to lead by example. At its core, this principle challenges us to embody the values and virtues we aspire to see in the world. The Stoics believed that true influence is not achieved through grand speeches or empty promises, but through living a life that reflects integrity, wisdom, and purpose. Think about those who inspire you most, whether it is a mentor, a family member, or a public figure. Chances are, what stands out is not just what they say, but how they live. Their actions resonate because they align so deeply with their beliefs, creating a lasting impact. To lead by example means taking responsibility for the energy you bring into every interaction. It means showing kindness even when it is not the easiest choice, practicing humility in success, and demonstrating resilience in adversity. By doing so, you naturally inspire others to rise to their best selves. For instance, imagine being part of a team facing a high-pressure deadline. Instead of succumbing to panic or blame, a leader who embodies Stoic principles remains calm, focused, and solutions-driven. Their composure serves as a beacon, encouraging others to mirror that grounded approach. This is the power of leading by example. It sparks change not through instruction, but through inspiration. The Stoics often reminded themselves of their role within the greater whole. Marcus Aurelius reflected on the idea that each person is like a thread in a vast tapestry, contributing to the beauty and strength of the collective fabric. By living in alignment with your principles, you strengthen that tapestry, creating ripples of positive influence. Leading by example also reinforces your own growth. As you strive to embody the principles you value, you naturally refine your character and uncover your potential. It is a cycle where your actions uplift others, and their response, in turn, reinforces your commitment to those ideals. In a world often marked by fragmentation and noise, the ability to lead through action is a rare and powerful gift. It is a reminder that real change begins within. By consistently aligning your choices with the virtues that matter most, wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, you become a quiet yet profound force for good. And as others witness this consistency, they too are inspired to reflect those values in their own lives. This final lesson is a call to live with purpose, not just for yourself, but as a light for those around you. As we close this journey through Stoic wisdom, let us carry forward the reminder that our greatest impact comes not from words, but from the authenticity and integrity of our actions. With the next phase of the journey in sight, let us delve deeper into what it truly means to become a role model through Stoic principles. History is rich with examples of individuals who lived in alignment with these timeless values, leaving behind extraordinary legacies of integrity and purpose. Consider Marcus Aurelius, often called the Philosopher King, who ruled the Roman Empire with wisdom and humility. Despite holding immense power, he remained dedicated to serving the greater good and frequently reminded himself of his duty to act justly and temper his ego. His personal writings, which would later become Meditations, reveal his relentless pursuit of self-improvement and his commitment to leading by example, even under the weight of immense responsibility. His life teaches us that true greatness is measured not by titles or accolades, but by the consistency of our character when no one is watching. Similarly, think of someone like Nelson Mandela, who exemplified patience, forgiveness, and resilience, key tenets of Stoicism, throughout his struggle for justice. After enduring nearly 3 decades of imprisonment, he emerged not with bitterness, but with a vision for unity and reconciliation, inspiring millions through his actions rather than mere rhetoric. His life underscores the Stoic belief that we cannot always control the circumstances around us, but we can choose how we respond to them, a choice that can transform not only ourselves but also those we lead. Becoming a role model, as these figures demonstrate, is not about perfection. It is about striving daily to align your actions with your values and remaining committed to personal growth. To hold yourself accountable, start by reflecting on the kind of role model you aspire to be. Ask yourself questions like, what virtues do I want to embody? And how can my actions inspire those around me? Journaling can be a powerful tool for this process, allowing you to track your progress, confront your shortcomings, and set clear intentions for improvement. Another practical approach is to seek feedback from those you trust, whether they are friends, colleagues, or mentors. Often, others can see aspects of our behavior that we might overlook, and their insights can serve as valuable reminders of the impact we have, both positive and negative. Surrounding yourself with people who also strive for growth and integrity can create a supportive environment that encourages you to stay true to your principles. Finally, remember that being a role model is not about grand gestures. It is about small, consistent actions that reflect the virtues you hold dear. Whether it is showing patience in a difficult conversation, extending kindness to a stranger, or taking responsibility when things go wrong, these moments build the foundation for authentic leadership. By embodying Stoic principles in your everyday life, you not only elevate your own character, but also inspire those around you to rise to a higher standard. As you continue your journey through the art of living, let this expanded lesson serve as a reminder that the most profound influence comes not from what we say, but from who we choose to be. With the next phase of the journey in sight, let us reflect on the 20 Stoic lessons we have explored together and how they can profoundly shape the way we live, perceive the world, and connect with others. These timeless principles, from focusing on what we can control, embracing adversity, and practicing gratitude to silencing the ego and leading with intention, offer more than just philosophical wisdom. They provide practical tools to navigate life's challenges with resilience, clarity, and purpose. By applying even one of these lessons, we can start to transform our daily experiences, bringing more peace, understanding, and strength into our lives and the lives of those around us. As we conclude, consider taking a moment to identify which lesson resonates with you most strongly. Is it the practice of living in the present, the courage to embrace your fate, or perhaps the resolve to become a role model through action? Commit to integrating this lesson into your life starting today, and observe how it shapes your thoughts, decisions, and interactions. We invite you to share your reflections or experiences with these Stoic teachings in the comments below. We would love to hear how they inspire or challenge you. If you found value in this journey through Stoic wisdom, remember to like this video, share it with someone who might benefit from these teachings, and subscribe to the channel for more insights on living a meaningful life through the lens of Stoicism. Hit the notification bell to stay updated on our latest content. Together, let us continue to strive toward mastering the art of living, one lesson, one moment, and one choice at a time. Thank you for watching, and until next time, stay resilient and intentional in your pursuit of a virtuous life.